Thank you so much, Robbie. I'm so excited, you guys, to share with you a TexitCoin overview. And let me just get my little screen share up there. Awesome. Here we are. Okay, so as Robbie said, my name is Melissa. I am a miner with TexitCoin. I've been mining for about 3 months, and I'm super excited to share with you my overview. So first things first, I do want to give a disclaimer, you guys. I'm not an employee of TexitCoin. I'm not a financial advisor or an attorney. I do not give tax or legal advice. And there are no guarantees, implied or otherwise. Past results are not a guarantee of future results, not just with crypto, not just with TexitCoin, but with anything in life. So with that, I want to share with you a few things about TexitCoin. Well, first of all, gosh, we just came back from a 3-week trip and got to spend a lot of time with this guy, Bobby, the founder of TexitCoin. And not only is his family just a beautiful, amazing family, but we really got to spend a lot of time with him and see his heart and where his heart is and where he's taking this project. And you guys will be really excited to know a little bit more about him. He does have a background in alternative currencies, working in this space well before Bitcoin was even created. He's testified in US Congress about alternative currencies, and he's built multiple gold and silver minting businesses. But you guys, in 2023, he sold all of his mints. He went all in on crypto, and he recognized the core issues with modern cryptocurrencies and decided to create something better. So he saw all the bad things that were happening in the crypto space, and he saw the good things that were happening in the crypto space. He took all the good, made it into a hybrid, which is TexitCoin. He founded TexitCoin in 2024 as a continuation of his life's work and his commitment to honest money. All right. So that is a little bit about our founder. But before I jump into our actual project, you guys, I do want to take it back to basics. I know we have a lot of newbies on this call, people just, kind of getting exposed to cryptocurrency. I know we've all heard about it before, but what is cryptocurrency? You guys, cryptocurrency is a digital or a virtual currency secured by cryptography, and it's based on a network that's distributed across a large number of computers. Okay, so that is the definition of cryptocurrency. Another definition that you'll want to know before we jump into our project is blockchain. And a blockchain is a digital ledger. So it's kind of like, if you're old school like me, it's kind of like the old checkbook registers, right? It's a digital ledger of transactions that's distributed across a network of computers, making it secure, transparent, and here's the key, you guys, nearly impossible to be tampered with. Okay, so transactions, what happens is the transactions are grouped into cryptographically secured blocks that are chained together. And once the block drops into the chain, it becomes permanent and unchangeable. So that is really important, because once that happens, you guys, you can't go in and it's not like at a bank, like, oh, I did some, please reverse the that does not happen. Once it drops into the blockchain, you can't take it back, you can't change it, and it is permanent. So that is what blockchain means. And then another definition I thought I would throw in here is, how do you mine for cryptocurrency? So now that we know what cryptocurrency is, we know what a blockchain is, how do you exactly mine for cryptocurrency? So crypto mining is the process by which powerful computers validate transactions and they add them to the blockchain. And in exchange for that work, the computers are rewarded with newly created cryptocurrency coins and transaction fees. So you guys, miners use computer power to solve complex mathematical problems which secure a network. And really how that works is this. So let's say I want to send my friend Robbie $10 in Bitcoin. So what the one computer is going to do is say, yes, Melissa has a valid Bitcoin wallet. And another one will say, yes, Robbie has a valid Bitcoin wallet. And then another one will say, yes, Melissa has $10 in Bitcoin to send to Robbie. And now it initiates that transaction. And as that $10 moves across the blockchain, computers are validating all of these things to make sure that it's true. And once that money hits Robbie's, Bitcoin wallet, it disappears out of mine, it hits his, that secures the transaction, it falls into the blockchain, and it is unchangeable. So hopefully that explanation kind of kind of ties everything. So the computers, they validate the records, they make sure everything's accurate, and as a result, new cryptocurrency coins are created and introduced into the cryptocurrency circulating supply. So I hope that kind of clears up a few definitions before we start. So TexitCoin, you guys, is a layer 1 cryptocurrency. We're mined in Texas, and TexitCoin is a Litecoin clone. And if you know nothing about cryptocurrency and you don't know what Litecoin is, that's okay. All you need to know is that it's faster and it's cheaper to send than Bitcoin. So TexitCoin is modeled after something that is faster and cheaper than Bitcoin. The great thing is there was zero pre-mined. So unlike some cryptocurrencies in existence who mined all of their coins and then released it to the public, TexitCoin had 0 coins that were pre-mined. The very first TXC or Texit coins that were created were when that first block fell into the blockchain. Speaking of blockchains, we get 254 block reward every 3 minutes. So every 3 minutes, there are 254 Texit coins created. And that's going to happen, you guys, until 695,662 blocks have fallen. Excuse me, I caught a little bug on the way back from Singapore. So after 695,662 blocks have fallen, there's an event that's called the halving. And what that means is now instead of 254 Texit coins every 3 minutes, now we're going to have 127. So it's going to cut it in half. Now, the reason for this, you guys, is let me take it back to Bitcoin if you're familiar. Everybody knows about Bitcoin. So in the beginning, Bitcoin had 50 Bitcoins released every 10 minutes, 50 Bitcoin, 50 Bitcoin, 50 Bitcoin, right? Well, it can't go on like that forever. It's kind of like when the US government just prints the money, right? Printing and printing and printing. You can't go on forever just printing the money. What happens if you go on forever printing the money is inflation happens. It devalues the dollar. The dollar gets devalued, inflation happens, and it just isn't good. So what happens here is we don't want to have 254 Texit coins being, created every 3 minutes forever and ever. We have the halving happen, so it creates generations of honest trade, and it preserves the value of the Texit coins so we don't overinflate. Okay, so every 695,662, it will go in half, in half, and in half. Okay, so the mining will go on for approximately about another 135-ish years. And the mission, so that's kind of how the halving works. And our first mission, our first goal that big goal rather, that we're reaching here is to reach $16 per coin by February 2026. And I'm here to tell you guys we are right on track for that goal. And the great news is that is our first goal. So $16 is not the stopping point. It's the very, very beginning. So what we're sharing with you right now is very exciting because it's we're at the very beginning stages of our mining. So the mining project, you guys, is separate from TexitCoin. TXC is the coin, and then the mine is separate. Okay, so what we're doing is we're crowdsourcing the mine by selling mega hash packs or seats on the rocket ship. And they're sold in 100 mega hash packs. And our goal, you guys, is to create the biggest decentralized mine in the world of 100 million mega hash mine in the world. So that's our goal. And we are doing this mainly through referrals, word of mouth, and marketing. So you guys, what's really great is this community is growing organically, it's growing quickly, and it's growing huge. We are soon going to be the biggest cryptocurrency network and community outside of Bitcoin. So this is a very, very exciting time for you guys to be hearing about this, especially if it's the first time you're hearing about TexitCoin. So as the funds are brought into the mine, you guys, Bobby, the founder, he does 3 things with the money, okay? What he does is he pays commissions for helping to build the mine. He builds the mine by buying equipment, and he promotes the coin. And all of these things are very exciting. And I'm just here to tell you, I've seen this guy in action, and he is a man of his word, 1000%. He does all 3 things on a weekly basis and shows everybody through, our weekly Zoom calls and all of that. We're getting the word out, you guys, through our community. We have hundreds of billboards across the United States, hundreds and hundreds in Texas. We just put up, I know, well over 100 in Florida, where Angelo and I are in Florida, and we're seeing, I mean, we're driving the car down his Lotus down the road. And it was so funny because before we left for our big trip, I looked over and we were driving underneath the billboard came up, one of the digital billboards came up with the TexitCoin advertising on it. And we were driving right under the billboard, and the people driving next to us were pointing at the billboard and the car. And so I'm telling you, this advertising is working. We also have advertisements, you guys, in DFW, Houston, Austin, and I think Iowa Airport, IAH. So 4 airports. I know Miami is coming this month, and I hear that LAX is on the way as well. So we are spreading out all across the United States with advertisements in all of the airports, billboards everywhere. We also have wrapped cars. It's a great way to show the world what crypto rich looks like. And we have a ton of sponsored events, you guys. We sponsor many, many events and get-togethers that fit the TexitCoin mission. For example, Angelo and I just got back from a 3-week trip courtesy of Texit. We spent 2 weeks in Thailand and a week in Singapore, and we had the honor and privilege of going to the Token 2049. It's the world's largest cryptocurrency conference in the world, and we had a huge booth there, and it was amazing. It was really spectacular. You may notice these people here. This is me. This is Angela. We picked up the Lotus a few weeks before we went on the trip. And then this is how we have it wrapped. So this is what it looks like right now. This is all of the advertisements. So this is what was driving underneath the billboard when we saw the people driving right next to us. So it was pretty fun. So that's what some of the cars look like. A lot of people, right now I'm going to go over some differences between TexitCoin and Bitcoin because I am going to highlight some key differences. If you're brand new to crypto, you might think that all digital currency is created equal, but it is the furthest from the truth. So TexitCoin has a clear mission and a founder. He talks to us every week. We have the Zoom calls. He writes articles. He's fully transparent. Where Bitcoin, you guys, no clear path. And does anybody actually know who created Bitcoin? Right? We have a name, but it could be a person. It could be a group of people. It could be a government agency. Nobody really knows who created Bitcoin. TexitCoin created as a Litecoin clone, so there's very, very low transaction fees, and it's very quick to send across the blockchain. Where Bitcoin, you guys, I'm not trying to bash Bitcoin, great store of value, but if you try to use it as a transactional cryptocurrency, it's not good, okay? Few reasons for that. Bitcoin is very expensive to send, and it's very slow. So let's say you're trying to buy something with Bitcoin, you could be standing there forever, waiting for your transaction to go through, maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. And so that's not practical, and it's not a good use of your time. And sometimes the fees can cost more than what you're sending. So it's just not economical to use Bitcoin as a transactional token. TexitCoin, you guys, we have a website designed for full transparency. On the website, you can check out all of our stats. You can see how many miners we have. You can see how much money we brought into the mine, where the money is gone on a weekly basis, how much on advertising, how much in commissions that have been paid, and how much money has been spent to build the mine, as well as our cash reserves, for liquidity and all of those things. Bitcoin, have you ever tried to look up a Bitcoin website? I mean, I'm sure there's lots of people that have made scammy sites that say Bitcoin on them, but Bitcoin, the actual Bitcoin coin, does not have a website. It does not have a plan, and it does not have a community that is built intentionally. Now, while the Bitcoin community is the largest community right now, in crypto, it was not built with intention. It kind of accidentally happened. Where TexitCoin, we are fully building a community, very consciously building a community, because we fully believe that our network is our net worth. And the larger our community is, the more successful our project's going to be. All right. And then Bitcoin, it's no longer profitable to mine for the average person. Right now, the only people mining Bitcoin are China, the elites, and large agencies. Those are the only people that can mine Bitcoin right now. I mean, not to say that an individual couldn't try mining it, but it's just not profitable. The electricity costs are astronomical, and it just doesn't make sense. All right. So moving on. Now, I just want to put this in here. We actually went to visit one of our mines in Texas, I want to say maybe about 6 weeks ago now. And this is what, if you've never seen a mine, this is what it looks like. And if you open up that lid, you'll see all the computers submerged in the mineral oil. And it's pretty cool. It's really awesome. Actually, I stuck my finger in there. I was like, this is really cool. So this is a mine. And I mentioned before that we are selling 100 mega hash seats on the rocket ship. And so what is mega hash? What is hash power? Like, what does that mean? So hash power, you guys, is the computer power that's used to solve the puzzles that generate the rewards, or the TexitCoin, and it keeps the blockchain running. So I went into that earlier. So hash power is the energy, that's used to do that. So your mining output, if you decide to join us, the output that you receive, or your rewards, is dependent on the amount of hash power that you have. And each seat represents a share of the total mining power that's being dispersed. So the more hash power you have, the bigger your payout, the bigger your daily share is, and the more TexitCoin you'll receive based on that. So if you think of it like a big giant slice of pie, the more mega hash you have, if the pie is sliced and it's divided up between all the mega hash, the more mega hash you have, the bigger slice of the pie you have of the rewards from the mine every single day. So the maximum amount of mega hash that you can purchase is 3,300 mega hash, but you can earn unlimited hash power through referrals, through helping us build the mine. All right, so that's hash power. What's really cool, you guys, is the cold storage coin. So this is Bobby's flagship product. He invented this product, he created it. And I really, really love this cold storage coin. So when you get a seat on the rocket ship, you'll receive one of these cold storage coins as part of your welcome packet. And so I just kind of want to get into the different cryptocurrency wallets. So there's two types of wallets, a hot and a cold. Now, the coin that you see a picture of right here, this is an example. This is a cold storage wallet. So it's kind of like a savings account. Now, the cold storage wallets, your mining output from the mine that's automatically dropped into the cold storage wallet every single day. And you have a public key that's on the back side. When you get your coin, you scan it, and you can track your rewards that's deposited into your cold storage wallet. You can track those every single day, okay? Now, let's say you want to spend some of your TexitCoin, you want to sell some of it. What you need to do is you need to make that cold storage wallet into a hot wallet. So right now, while it's a cold storage wallet, it's like a piggy bank. But once you scan, you peel the little code off the back, you scan it, and you turn it into a hot wallet, you turn it into a checking account. So it comes like a savings account. You can turn it into a checking account, and then you can use it accordingly. But just a little, if you're new to crypto, when you get this coin, right now you have one job, and that is to keep the coin safe, because we don't store any backups. We can't recover anything. If you lose the coin, you have one job, and that's to keep the coin safe, because the holder of the coin is the holder of the money, if that makes sense. All right, so we will teach you all about that when you decide to join. All right, so some people have said to me, great, I would like to buy some TexitCoin, and what is better, buying it or mining it? I say both. There's benefits to both. I've purchased some TexitCoin and I also mine it. And so I'll tell you what the difference is between mining it and buying it. So mining it, we sell seats on the rocket ship, 100 mega hash for $995. This pays you out your TexitCoin to your wallet every day, just like I explained, into your cold storage wallet. And it grants you access to our referral programs. So you can earn extra hash power, you can earn TexitCoin, you can earn USDC, also trips and cars and all kinds of things. That's the benefit of getting involved with our mining project. Now, if you buy TexitCoin, what you'd want to do is you'd want to go onto a crypto exchange. We are listed on a handful of exchanges and we're adding more all the time. So you can go onto one of the exchanges that is selling TexitCoin, and you can purchase some off of an exchange. And I kind of compare this to, let's say you wanted to buy 10 shares of McDonald's stock from the New York Stock Exchange, right? You can go out to the exchange off of, through an exchange, whatever exchange you want to use, and you can buy 10 shares of McDonald's stock. Now, you only get 10. That's it. You don't get, any more. You just get what you are buying off of the exchange. And so that's kind of the equivalent to if you go out to buy TexitCoin off of an exchange, you get exactly what you purchase. You don't get any referrals. You don't get TexitCoin dropped into a cold storage wallet every single day. And it's very, very passive. Now, does this help support our community? Absolutely it does. So it's kind of like buying and holding shares of stock versus the mining. If you consider the TexitCoin as the golden egg, the mining is like having the goose that lays the golden egg, that gives you a golden egg every single day. So that's mining versus buying. Okay. And then I'm going to get into some of our packages right now. I've been mentioning the 1 seat, $9.95. 100 mega hash. 3 seats is $29.85. That's 300 mega hash. And then once you get to 5 seats, that is going to give you an extra 100 mega hash bonus. So you get 6 seats for the price of 5. So you get an extra 100 mega hash bonus. That's $49.65. And then 9 seats comes with 3 pay stations, which we can explain later, but it also gives you a 200 mega hash bonus. So that would give you 1100 mega hash to start. Okay. Currently, we're also offering 27 and 54 packs. So 27 seats is 26,865, and that's the most mega hash that you can purchase. If you come in with this amount, the only way that you can get any more mega hash is by earning it through referrals. So that's the maximum. And then on the 54 pack, it gives you everything you get with the 27, which is the most amount of mega hash, but you'll also receive 27,000 TexitCoin at the current market value. So the 54 pack is kind of the best of both worlds. It gives you the mining at the maximum amount, but it also gives you the coin. So it gives you both, what I explained before, instead of just buying some or mining some, that is the pack that you can come in that will actually give you both. All right, so those are the packs. Now, we do have a referral program. So if you help us build the mine and you help us grow our community, you get rewarded. So joining the rocket ship can be completely passive, you guys. I don't want anyone to think that you're required to share or you're required to refer or bring people on. You can join, you can get all of the wonderful benefits of being involved in our fabulous mining project and our wonderful community. But there are several ways that you can earn more hash power through our 1-2 free program and bonuses by helping us build the mine and grow our community. All right, so there's that. I also wanted to highlight that we have an amazing corporate staff. We have a customer service. So with Bitcoin, they don't have customer service. They don't have an amazing corporate staff, but we do. So we have 5+ full-time. I mean, I'm sure it's more by now. Just kind of a side note, you guys, when I started mining 3 months ago, we were at around 8,000, maybe just a little over 8,000 miners. We're now around 35,000 miners. So the company is adding more and more customer service and, Ranger support people to help with all kinds of issues regarding back office, onboarding, trainings, meeting coordination. This young lady right here is my daughter. She's Angelo's assistant, and she helps us with a lot of our onboarding and helping people when they're just get started, getting all of their questions answered and things like that. So that's another benefit of joining our community is we do have a dedicated support specialist and a wonderful corporate support staff that helps everybody get started. And then if you are ready to join the rocket ship, you guys, I like to always remind everybody, remember it is a risk. Never buy more than you can afford or lose. It's not a guarantee, you guys. We do have a clear mission and we'll do everything in our power to send this rocket ship to the moon and beyond. And like I said, packages range from $995 to $54,000. So it does make it accessible for everyone. All right, what does it take to get started? The only thing we need from you guys is a name, phone number, email address, your home mailing address so we can send your awesome welcome packet, and an anonymous username. And then as far as payment methods, get with the person that invited you. If you do not have cryptocurrency, they can most likely help you either get cryptocurrency. We can help you guys figure that out. There are alternatives at this point in time as well. So I would strongly encourage you to get with the person that invited you.
Hey, Vinny, how you doing?
Hang on one second, I skipped ahead. Get with the person that invited you to this presentation so they can help you get started. And then I'm going to end my portion with a little testimonial. It's about 2 minutes long. And I want to just tell you about this really quickly before I start the video. Now, Vinny actually started near the beginning, okay? When the video was made, when we recorded his testimonial, I believe the coin, TexitCoin, was around $1.74. Right now, it's a little over $4. So just keep that in mind while you're watching his testimonial.
All right. Hey, Vinny, how you doing?
How you doing there, Angelo?
Oh, really good. Awesome. Well, listen, if you could just give your testimony on what happened yesterday in regards to TexitCoin and your experience, we'd love to share it with everybody.
Okay, well, it was a pleasant surprise. I bought TexitCoin back in July of 24, and I basically just forgot about it because the person who brought me in said I was getting in on the ground floor of something, and she personally knew Bobby Gray, and I figured, let's try to get in on something early. Like we all missed Bitcoin, right? A lot of us did. I know I did. So that's what I did. But then I noticed that Telegram started getting busy these past couple of months. And I figured I'll get on the thread and start seeing what's going on, watching the great videos. And I called Angelo. And Angelo and Trey were really good in holding my hand, showing me how to actually bring up the app online because I had never even done that. I had just bought the coin. So lo and behold, I find out that I've made about $80,000.
Now let me ask you this question: did you actually buy the coin or did you buy hash power?
Hash power.
And so you've been mining for the last, let's just say almost a year.
Yeah.
Okay, and so the time you started mining to today, how many coins do you have? Or how much do you have in value in the coins?
Almost $80,000.
Wow, what an awesome surprise, wasn't it?
Yes, it definitely was.
And the cool thing about it is that it was also put on one of these cold storage coins into a cold wallet. So therefore, it's not even online, and the only person who has access to it is you with that coin, right?
Exactly.
What a wonderful idea. What a wonderful invention. What a great plan. But more importantly, what an opportunity.
Yes, it has been. And I'm going to get into it more now that I'm going to try to help some other people. And I was doing a three-way with you and Trey yesterday and thought about the one person that I had brought in from the very beginning. So she hadn't been looking at this either because we didn't want to stress ourselves out looking at something every day for a year. But now it's exciting to look at. So we did a three-way with her, and she had spent $1,000. And to her surprise, she made $27,000.
Wow. Wow.
So she's been walking on air all day.
Wow. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing that testimony. And I look forward to what the future has to bring, as long as you just share your experience.
Thank you very much, Angelo.
Have a great day. Cheers.